Okay, so I have been building WordPress websites for many, many years. And what I'm seeing lately is a lot of clients come to me with a landing page that they were able to make with ChatGPT, which is kind of cool. I mean, this isn't, this is one, but I kind of changed it a little bit. But I'm getting things like this brought to me, and I myself, where is it? I myself have been making landing pages with the help of AI and some nice little prompts. However, they're not they're not maintainable. So every time you want to make a change, you have to get the whole thing updated. Unless you're sitting there and you know how to change the code like I do, you kind of get the first version and then you can edit it yourself. But my clients can't do that. So in this video, I'm going to make a simple application that turns a landing page like this, which actually has no pages. It's just a single page landing page. It's going to turn into a full website with separate pages, and it's going to be editable. So you'll be able to select elements, copy them, and then take them to ChatGPT and say, I just want to change this bit. So rather than changing the entire site, they can just edit that bit, copy it back in. So that sounds confusing, and it looks awesome in my mind. So I am going to do that in this video. I'm not going to record every single bit. I'm just going to keep the interesting stuff in. And I'm going to set myself a 2 hour time limit because we're on this page right now. I have workshops coming up where I teach people to build applications in 2 hours or 2.5 hours once we've done the setup. So uh, I'm going to actually do that in this video. I'm going to do my process for building an application. I think this application is very useful, and I'm going to show you guys how I do that. Just the cool stuff, not the boring head scratching moments. So I'm going to get started now. Um, so Okay, so I'm now in ChatGPT. So I'm using a pro account. I think you can get the same kind of outcomes with the free account. I, you're not going to get the later models, and you're not going to get the thinking mode, I believe. I'm not too sure about that. So what I did was I took the initial page, this one here, and I uploaded it, and then I typed out this nice little prompt, kind of just describing what I'm trying to achieve. And I already know it's possible, but I'm trying to start a conversation where we're exploring the idea together rather than me coming in opinionated and saying, this is what I want to happen. There may be a better way to do it. I'm going to steer the ship, but I'm also kind of letting it give me some ideas as well. So I've given it the description, and it's come back and said, yeah, look, totally possible. We're going to split it into separate files, blah, 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 blah. Now, it kind of went a little weird, and it was doing some it wanted to structure all of the pages into JSON format, so JSON, which we don't need to do. That was sort of a step that it was adding that really wasn't required. So I read through this very in detail, and I did push back a little bit and said, no, we're not going to do it that way. I steered it a different way, and it just kept revising based on the limitations and constraints that I was giving it. And so we ended up with this final prompt here. And what I was asking it to do was, well, now that you know what we want to build, give me a prompt that I can use in the Codex application. So a brief intro to that. So Codex is just sort of a coding agent that it understands a lot of different programming languages, and if you give it enough structure, it'll be able to develop the desired application that you want. Now, if you don't know what you're doing, you'll create a mess, or something that's not really usable. So that's why I started off here first. I wanted to kind of flesh out the idea, and I also wanted a very robust prompt that I could use to describe exactly what I'm building. So I could explain it in simple terms. I've used ChatGPT Pro to flesh that out in more technical terms based on the terms that I gave it, the constraints, the desired output, all of that kind of thing. Now, I'm going to copy that. Now, I've actually got, I guess this is kind of cheating on my 2 hour limit a little bit. So I'm going to create, no, I'm going to do it down here. So normally I would create a new project, but I've actually already started a similar project. So that's why I said it's kind of cheating. The projects are different, but because the other version doesn't do an import. So it's like we're building a new application. We're going to use some of the other code later, and that's not really cheating. It's kind of just smart. It's how you develop things quickly rather than creating everything from scratch. If someone else has already made the thing and it's open source and you can use it, you would use it. In this case, I've got code that I want to reuse that I've written previously, which also gave me the idea in the first place. So yeah, call it cheating if you want. All right, so I'm just going to pause the video while I get the prompting and everything all set up because it's kind of boring. Okay, so I pasted in the prompt that we got from ChatGPT, and just a quick time check, 9:24. So that took a little bit of time. So I pasted it in, and then I've just I put these little three dashes here, and then added some extra information based on what I want to do. So like I said, I wanted to reuse code that I've already got. And the code that I've already got basically just allows you to, if I just open up any kind of, website. So you can do this. You can bring up developer tools in Google Chrome, and developer tools allows you to select different elements. So in the application, once the site is created, I want people to be able to maintain the site, and they're already using ChatGPT to create this landing page. So all I'm doing is creating a way for them to select what they want to edit, and the code will be copied once they click on it like that. They can then take that into ChatGPT, paste it in, describe what they want changed, and then away they go. Now, simple text edits, like if they wanted to just click in and edit, that'll be fine. That'll just work in the thing. We won't worry about writing a prompt to change text. That doesn't make any sense. So I've put that into here already, and I've asked it to create a fork based on the previous application that allows you to select those page elements. And that is obviously just code I'm reusing. And if I was working with anyone in a workshop, doing the 2 hour workshop, I would obviously steer them towards code that's already written that they can reuse. And even if it's my code, I would give that to them. Okay, so I'm going to kick this off now. While that's running, so it goes through a process now where it kind of understands what I'm talking about. It's going to go through and look through the directory. So I'm just going to show you. So it hasn't created anything yet, but this is all the other code where I'm saying take the pieces of that code that I want to reuse, and and create a new version of the application to allow importing of those landing pages that we talked about at the start. So I've just talked for 3 minutes while that's running. So it's going to do its thing now. It hasn't done anything yet because that folder would move up to the top. So it hasn't created anything yet. It's still reading. It's still reading through all the files to get an understanding first, and then it will start creating them. So I'm gonna actually stop this video. That'll be part one is done. So recap. Excuse me. Recap. We had our idea. We talked about the idea first in ChatGPT, and then we sort of, with some technical knowledge that I have, refined that into an application structure that will allow this to work. And one thing that I wanted with this application is I wanted it to be self-hosted, meaning if a client comes to me and says, "Hey, I've made this landing page. I really love the look of it. I want to use it. How do I use it?" I can say, follow these steps to install the application on your website host. And then it will give you like a URL you go to, and then follow the steps to import, etc. So we'll get to that when it's built, and I'll show you kind of what we create. A lot of the work's going to happen right now. This could take 10 minutes. It's not that complex because it's copying a lot of pre-written code, and the new import feature, it does have some complexity to it because it will be reading in the code and understanding the different elements of that code. We'll see how we go. So we're at a 12 minutes now since we started. Cool. I'm going to stop that now, and we'll come back once this is done, and we'll see what's happened. All right, we're back for part two. I'm just looking in the Codex application. Just going to reposition myself here. So this is what it came back with. Now, for anyone sort of non-technical, which is kind of who I'm targeting here, you're not going to understand any of this. It's just going to be like, I did a lot of stuff for you, and it's this. So now it's saying it couldn't run tests, blah, blah, blah. And then it's asking if I want to wire the importer into the existing selector that I told you about in the last video. So I don't want it to do that at this point because I want to test if the import even works first. I want to know that that is working before I do anything. So what I want it to do is local test first. So I'm just asking it now. Let's run a local test first. Give me the command to run up a server to test locally. So this will be different on a PC. You'll still get a command though. You may just have to do additional steps. It's a lot easier on a Mac or a Linux. Okay, so it's giving me the exact command. It's saying I've got to do it from the project root, so I need to make sure that I'm in the correct folder. So I'm going to open Finder. Now I don't know if it did create a second folder for that app. That's the confusing bit for me because I had so many files in there already. It said import. No, we're out of the directory now. Okay, so now I'm just asking it to set the directory as well as run up the server. So this is where I guess the critical thinking starts to drop away when you use AI. because I could work this out. I could figure this out, but I mean, it's even telling me here public router. I probably have to stop the other ones I've got running as well. So I will, that's stopped. I'm going to stop this one. So these are just other applications I have running in the background. So I'm going to minimize those. This wouldn't happen on your computer. And while that's thinking, I'm just going to pause the video. Okay, right after I paused the video, it came back with the command. So I've just copied that. I'm going to new window from here. And then I'm just going to paste that command in. It's exactly what it gave me. And it's running the server now, so I can access this from this address. So I will copy that, open a new browser tab. Okay, so I'm not, it's actually just giving me a landing page rather than an import tool. That's interesting. Pause video. All right, this is part of the process. So because I was working inside a directory that already had work, it looks like it's mixed the two up. So I'm just letting it know that while that's thinking, and I'm just owning that mistake, and we're running out of time. Okay, it's coming back. It's reading through again. So I'm going to pause this and we'll come back and see if we can fix that mistake. Okay, so I was going to the wrong directory. So we killed the old server, we restarted a new one, we went to the right place. Now we've arrived at the import screen. I had a few questions that I wasn't sure about because like I said, it's using the code from a previous project. So what it did was it loaded just a dummy landing page that I created with an editor built into it, which I wanted it to reuse the code, but I didn't want it to in this version yet. So I don't know why it kind of loaded that page, and I made some questions and followed them up, and I'll show you those in a sec. But we could actually access the importer the whole time. So the questions I had were, if I import this now, will that overwrite that default landing page, the demo one that I showed you before? So it's coming back. It's updating. I also said that this looks awful because it really does. It doesn't look nice at all. So I told it to fix that, which it's doing now. And then, yeah, it's going to address that question that I had about overrunning the page. So I'm going to pause the video again and we'll come back, and I'm hoping we should just be importing a page by now. Okay, so we updated the design, so it now looks like this. The functionality still isn't doing what I want, and I haven't run any imports yet. I've just been iterating on the prompt. It was generating, so when I import a site, this is where there was a misinterpretation, or I didn't communicate adequately enough, or I enforced too much and I wasn't able to um, like predict the next thing accurately. So what it was doing was every time I would run the importer, it was just generating a static site in a folder, and it's saying it here. Yeah, this is where I put files. I don't overwrite the root landing page. So that was the demo page that I showed you at the start, which I was just like, that's weird because the whole thing was to overwrite that. So I went through a series of, this is what it needs to do. It started building something. I was reading the steps that it was thinking, and it was wrong. So I had to stop it. So I asked it to pause. Then I clarified, and then it sort of had this aha moment, like, yeah, I get what you're actually trying to achieve now. And now it's going ahead and doing that. So this time, fingers crossed, we'll have an application. We are heading up to getting towards the 1 hour mark, so we need to hurry up. All right, just a quick update. So, having some real issues. It's confusing the previous app with what I'm trying to create rather than extracting the features that I wanted. So, I'm really, yeah, the head scratcher moments. I've been keeping those off camera, but I'm getting a little bit frustrated now. We're still under 1 hour. If I can just get this next bit to work, we'll be fine. So I'll pause the video, and fingers crossed, this next part is going to be beautiful. Okay, we've just ticked over 1 hour, as in like 4 minutes past. And I did jump ahead a little bit because there was some troubleshooting, and it just kind of bothered me to keep stopping and talking, and it was taking time. So I thought I'd just jump through the troubleshooting, and what I've done is I've created a subdomain for under my website called importer, which is what this application does, just for testing. And then I've uploaded the files that I was using locally into that directory. And we're just having a few routing issues, so I'm just fixing that up now. So the end goal of this is to have a zip folder that someone could download from me and then upload onto their hosting account. Unzip it, access the import URL, and then actually import the landing page that was created by AI. And then it will be inside of a CMS type environment so they can maintain it. So I'm actually going to stop part two. This is the end of part two. We're at the point where I can run the application, the import. Sorry, I'll just show you public import. So I can run the application. I've done it already on this site, but then we've got some routing issues that I'm fixing. So I'm going to end this now. I'm going to come back for part three, which will be the final part where I actually import a site and we see the application working. So we're a little bit behind. Less talking, more work. Okay, so this is part three. We are getting close to that deadline, and I don't think I'm going to make it. I don't want to make excuses. Uh, I just I didn't nail it. I will say though, the application I'm trying to make is a little bit more complex than what uh, most applications would be in a workshop. So we're thinking like member portals, loyalty apps, stuff like that. It's super easy. This is a bit more complex in terms of like it's it's kind of like it's a replacement for WordPress. You would import your site that you've made in an LLM. It structures all of that into a maintainable structure, and then of course there's that copy and edit part as well. So at the moment, what we've got is actually not bad. We've got a fair bit. It's like I said, I've reused some code from a previous project, which I would encourage anyone to do. So this is a CMS backend for the site. Once I imported that landing page, I don't know if you remember at the start of the video, so we can actually visit the site now. And so this is what it's done. Now, if you remember that landing page, I think I still have it open. It's actually supposed to be blue. The nav bar should be completely different. So what we've ended up with is this kind of weird version. It's got a different brand name from the previous product that I made, and then it's got all these other things in it as well. So it's imported some of it, and then some of it has butchered so badly, and this is where the doubt comes in about meeting the deadline. So what we have at the moment is a packager where you can import a landing page. I've just got to get the importer to pass the page properly, and then use that style and not this weird thing. Because even if I log out of this, so if I log out and then go to the site, how a normal person would come to it, it's still got different branding and stuff on it. And like I said, these layout issues are crazy. So it looks like it's kind of like imported the page inside of another page structure. So I'm working on fixing that at the moment. But yeah, deadline approaching. So I'm going to pause the video and come back with an update. Okay, we've just updated the application, the import process. So this is it now. Now I'm just going to use that same file that I used earlier, analyze and upload. Now this is a first run because I've deleted the app and set it up again. So I'm going to set up the admin page, and it's detected these pages in the landing page. So I'm going to run the import. It's super quick to import. It scares me and makes me happy at the same time. And then I'm just going to go to the dashboard to begin with, and we can check the pages. So there's 6 pages imported. They are looking great. So let's visit the site. Oh yeah, there we go. Now we've got some weird character issues here that we can work on that. And some bit of jankiness when it's reloading the pages. Yeah, it hasn't really created pages, which is not good. So that's kind of shit. Let's have a look at that landing page. Even that still, no, I need to. All right, I'm going to pause the video again. So we're getting closer. What we got is not bad. Now, how do we actually get back? I think we just put in a / login. Yeah, and I'm already logged in. So what this actually does is it gives us a navigation. So it's created all these pages, as you can see. Pages. We also have a blog. We don't have any posts at the moment, so the blog doesn't appear until you create a post. So I'll just do a test one so you can see. Test, blah, blah, blah. And I'm going to set it to publish now. Create post. Okay, so it's created the post. If we go back to the site, that didn't work either. That's not good. So what it should do is actually add blog straight into the nav. So that's not working. Yeah, it didn't inject that. But that's not an issue. So the posts are working, and I can view them. Okay, yeah, it's using an old blog template as well, so I need to fix that. That's okay. So that's not a bad issue. That's easy to fix. We also need to test that the forms work as well. So I'm obviously not going to hit the deadline now. We've got like 30 minutes left, but what we've got here so far is not bad. Like I can keep working on this, and I will for the next 30 minutes to see how close we can get. What I want is the import to be perfect. If those other things, such as blog, don't work straight away, that's fine because it's an additional feature. I also need to get rid of things like this that were from previous projects, so a bit of cleanup. But so far, not bad. So I'm going to pause this, and we'll see what it looks like in the next part of the video. So I just want to include in this part, so every time we get a failed attempt, what I'm actually doing is I'm coming into the root directory, I'm selecting all the files, and I am deleting them. So 25, gone. And the next time, on the next iteration, after it performs an update, it'll give me a new release package, which I'll then upload and then run the test again. So that's what I'm doing in between each pause that I do in the video. So that's what I'm doing now while I pause the video. Okay, so this is going to be my last import. I've got 10 minutes left before the 2 hours are up. I'm at a point where I feel like I've got a really good base and I'm just kind of making tweaks now. So I feel like I haven't failed, but I also haven't succeeded either. So let me run this import and we'll see what it looks like. And I'll show you if it hasn't fixed the issue. I'll be able to show you where I'm making those tweaks. So it's picking up all the pages correctly, running the importer. It's super quick. We open up the landing page. It looks good. Yeah, it's still breaking the content. It's still doing this. So I really need to fix that. For some reason, it is falling apart right in front of my eyes. So yeah, I'm just working on that. For some reason, it's doing this. These should all be individual cards. Some reason it's removing the separation between them, and they're collapsing into like one element. That's happening everywhere I've got cards, and it's breaking the complete page. But what is happening is it is actually creating the pages and it's putting the correct content on the pages. It's just breaking the little UI things. So I will fix that and we'll see how long it actually takes. Because doesn't seem like a big issue. It's just some UI elements there. But aside from that, we actually do have a pretty nice application put together in terms of a CMS. Because I can come in here, I can edit the pages from the back end, which is nice. Media as well. I'll have to see if that's hooked up. We've got navigation working and I can adjust that. I haven't checked if that's actually working yet. Leads get collected in here as well from the form. So I just need to test all those things now, but this is a working it's a working application. Once I get the UI things fixed up here and I test the forms, the leads, that's a working site. So probably not smack bang on 2 hours, but pretty close to it. Right now, I've got the base. I'm just iterating on it, and that could happen sort of any time. I could walk away now and come back, or I can just keep working on it. So I'm going to keep working on it and see what ultimate time frame it actually takes me to finish this off. So that was the end of part 3, and I'll do a part 4 just to wrap up with the final product and the time, how long it took me in total. But at this point, I feel pretty happy with what was done in the 2 hours. We've got, it imports, it creates the pages. We just fix up those UI things and it's a working application. So, all right, that's the end of part 3. Okay, so this is part 4, the final video, just wrapping up kind of where I got to. So if this doesn't work, I will not be releasing this video. No, that's not true. If it doesn't work, that's fine. I'm going to just keep working on it anyway. But I was pretty close in the last run. I'm pretty sure this is going to do it. So analyze, it's all this part is the same as earlier, because you remember it was working the way I wanted it to. It was just collapsing those page elements into one thing and it looked weird. So I'm going to run the import, go straight to the front end where the animation's working great. Pages are moving up. So we still got this weird, it's in the background, it's doing these weird sections. So I'm trying to fix that. But other than that, everything else worked. It's just that weird background, which is, I could probably just tweak that myself anyway. And maybe that's going to happen when you import with other sites. I would like to get it fixed if I can. But the pages work as well. It's copying the content for each section into where it should be. Just that background is really bothering me. What's included works. So it's copying all the content into the correct pages. This is actually how I wanted it to work, which is awesome. So that's it. It's working now. And it took me an extra 10 minutes to get that fixed. Just need to get that background sorted. But I'm so happy with how this worked, because now if I go to dashboard, I can still edit everything. I did ask it to fix the blog, so let me test if that works now. If not, again, that's just an additional thing that I wanted to include. It didn't need to be working for this version, but if it is, that's good. Let's check nav. Hasn't added a blog page, so that didn't work. But yeah, it's created all the pages. I really like that. It's really done a good job. And this is the cool part. It's pulled in the content so that I can edit the code if I want to as well, which is good. I can tweak that more as well, working on it to make it even better. It does have a media import. I don't know if leads work, but again, they're all just additional things. And actually, for this site, there is no form anyway. It goes off to a Go High Level connector page. So really, this is kind of done. I just need to fix that background stuff, but the import worked. I'm stoked with that. So yeah. And if we go back to import, import is locked. So I can't actually do the import again. All I can do is go to my dashboard. And just to let you know as well, when I log out, the site does come up like that for everyone. And import should still be, it's wanting me to log in now to do the import, and the import is locked anyway. So it's all secure as well. So I'm happy. That's it. It's working. It did take, it took 2 hours and 10 minutes. So it wasn't quite on the 2 hour mark. And there's still some more things I want to do with it. But as far as taking a LLM generated landing page and turning it into a site, this worked. Oh, look, the blog page is actually showing up now, but it's using the old template. All right, so I need to fix that. But getting closer, getting much, much closer. So I just need to fix that blog thing. But that's, again, like I said, different feature that I was adding in myself. Very cool. So I'm going to wrap that up there. So it can be done. You can build an application, and this wasn't a standard application like a data entry type application. This was an import and CMS application. It's got SMTP, so I can do email, all that kind of stuff built into it. So it's a bit more complex than a standard like member portal or a loyalty application or whatever. Those are very well structured. Whereas this is taking structured data and then transforming it into a structured site. So it was a bit more complex, so a bit of a challenge there, but fun times. I'll keep working on this, and this product will actually become available from my website. So when it becomes available, I'll leave a link, and you'll be able to make your own websites just importing something that has been generated from an LLM. And I do have a pretty cool editing feature as well, which I'll show when it's released. So there we go. First version of this is working.